All right, the Padres, they win game one of this series against the Marlins, 4-3 in extra innings. I was wondering how long this game was going to go because just wasn't seeing the best at bats tonight, or best swing selection. I think is probably the best way to describe it tonight from this Padres team. And it was from big guys in this order: Fernando, Merrill, um, Manny. Obviously, he's a little bit on a heater right now. He had 3 home runs, obviously, to start off the year, and now he has 3 in the last, like, 4 games. So, when he gets going, he gets going. And I said, I think earlier today on the show, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he has a 5-homer week, considering they're playing the Marlins and the Pirates, and he's just coming off homers in that Brave series. Like, I could totally see that. He was pinch run for late in this game. He ended up being the ghost runner, and then he goes on third base. Tyler Wade pinch runs. And in that moment, just because I didn't know a wild pitch was going to come, I was just wondering, like, is that the best decision? I didn't actually love that decision. Padres trying to win the game right there and, like, force something. I understand that. But just the way it was going, you didn't know if they were going to drive in a run. And so to have Manny's defense out there, to have Manny's bat out there when he's one of the better hitters right now, then, for me, I probably would have stuck with Manny there in that situation. And would Manny have scored on that wild pitch? Like, the Marlins dropped the ball. Tyler Wade, it was close there. If the ball was caught, let's say, right? Don't know if Manny would have got there. But still, like, I probably would have left him in, but that's why I'm sitting on the couch watching the game and Mike Schultz managing. Um, Back to that swing selection, Merrill today, it was that if the Padres would have lost this game, I think I probably would be more heated about it. But it's still like my main takeaway. Even though the Padres won, my main takeaway is the swing selection from some of these Padres hitters. I'm trying to find the situation. I want to say it was the 8th inning. It was late in the game. No, it was the 7th. So single by Iglesias, Maldonado, 2 strikes. He has a sac bunt. I know he's the 9 hitter, so they're kind of like, this is probably your best chance, Maldi, to even like impact the team. So let's have you sack bunt. But good for him. Like, that was tough. So props to him. And then you have Nando and Merrill up, and you're like, all right, this is great. This is what you want. But Nando's struggling right now. And if you go look at some of his homers from earlier this year, at least that's what I did, you know, during this game to kind of compare what he looks like now, kind of like his load and his stance compared to then. He's still tweaking some things. It's different. Uh, to me, it seems like he's not as tall. He's not as tall. And I'm not Victor Rodriguez, so I'm not going to act like I know everything about Fernando and how he's feeling and hitting wise. But seems to me like if he was going well, stick with what he was doing. It seems like there's been little adjustments though. Um, but sometimes I feel like baseball players are like that, where even if they're doing good, they feel like they could do better. So you're trying to always improve, right? And then if you have you're not getting results, then even if like your process is great, maybe sometimes you're motivated to change some things a little bit as well. Maybe if we went and asked Fernando this or Victor Rodriguez this about any changes Fernando is making right now, maybe they would say, hey, he's not making changes that we're like focused on. And maybe that's just how Fernando got up there at the plate today. But I did notice that. But like him, it wasn't on the pop out, but I think it was after this pop out, later in the game, maybe one of his extra inning at bats. It's a breaking ball, and there wasn't 2 strikes in the count. Breaking ball down way outside the zone. He swings at it on, I think, a ground out. Merrill, after the pop out from Tatis here in that inning, the Maldonado, the 7th, that Maldonado sack bunt. Merrill swings at a pitch. I don't think there was 2 strikes there either. I think there was 1 strike, and he swings at a pitch that was outside the zone in the right-handed batter's box. And obviously he was cussed at himself after. But yeah, just I know it's hard. Like baseball, it's the hardest sport. I I don't want to say I understand it. I get it because I don't, because I'm not in the batter's box. But you get what I'm saying when I say I get it. Um, it's tough, but sitting here as a fan, it's frustrating when you're seeing, your best players expand the zone too much when you're facing the Marlins, and it's like you guys are giving them outs. And sure, they won the game tonight, but if you're facing a better team, are you going to win that game tonight? I don't know. So I just want to kind of look at it that way, at least tonight. Good they got the win, 30-22. Like bottom line, I care about wins, so they won the game. So ultimately, like yeah, it's a successful night. But just coming off of that tonight, that's still my main thought. Which usually isn't. When the Padres win, usually I'm not like thinking negatively. I'm just like, hey, they won the game, great. But maybe because it was with the Marlins, and there's a lot of guys on this Marlins team. I have no idea who the heck these guys are. Like their three hitter, who the heck is that guy? Eric Wagaman? I've heard some of these guys. Matt Mervis because he was with the Cubs. Mesa Jr. was someone that was like propped up pretty big. I think he has a brother too, and they both signed like at the same time. I remember news there, but I don't know like how he's doing or did he just get called up? Graham Pauley, I forgot that he was with the Marlins a little bit, but they put him in there to play the infield late in that game because they wanted to go with the five-man infield, but no five-man infield was going to stop the wild pitch. So the Padres, like, they benefit from playing a bad team. And yes, the Marlins are bad again, 21-31. So ultimately, like, yeah, won the game, and they did the job, right? Taking advantage of playing bad teams, and got to do that again and again. And then that Pirate series because the schedule does get tougher, and there's not a lot of days off here in June coming up next month. Um, so yeah, but 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position, and they won the game. You could say like that's a positive, Ben, but for me, it's kind of like, well, we're lucky that they were playing the Marlins. Manny's homer, big, obviously tied the game up. He now has played more games with the Padres than he has played that he played with the Baltimore Orioles. 860 with the Orioles, 861, I believe, with the Padres. So he is officially ours now. That's pretty cool. Um, didn't It hasn't felt like Manny's played that long with the Padres, but time flies. I did want to shout out Randy Vasquez because I thought he kind of grinded through that outing as well. Competed, wasn't a great start. Some pitches over the middle of the plate, or too much of the plate, but overall, like getting into the seventh inning, like you're taking that every single time out from Randy Vasquez. That's keeping you in the game, especially when you're facing the Marlins. Totally keeping you in the game. And then the bullpen, no earned runs. Wandy, David Morgan with his big league debut, Robert Suarez, Jason Adam, Adrian Morejon there to close it out. So great job from them. What is that? That's 4 and 2/3 innings covered by the bullpen, giving up no runs. And it wasn't just high leverage guys. So good job there. And yeah, real quick before I end this video, because I do remember, I thought I saw Jeff Sanders maybe put up an update on Darvish and Michael King. Because Kyle Hart, he's expected to start on Wednesday. For those that didn't see that, Nick Pivetta going to get pushed back to Friday. Schilt was just saying extra rest, but we'll see what happens there. Um, Padres do not yet know if Darvish will be available to bolster the rotation during that long stretch of games. In the 13 straight games is that stretch of games that Jeff was referring to. Nor have they wrapped their head around the scapula issue that sent Michael King to the 15-day IL on Saturday. King said he was feeling marginally better today. Or Schilt was saying that King feels marginally better. Was not in the clubhouse during media availability. Darvish, he played catch today from about 90 feet. Continuation of the throwing that he'd been doing in San Diego while the team was in Toronto and Atlanta. He has not thrown a bullpen since throwing 4 innings in that rehab start in Vegas. Could a rehab start? Oh, no, sorry. A bullpen could happen as soon as this weekend. if he feels really good. Darvish declined to get into the exact specifics of what had previously been described to the UT as residual effects of the elbow issue that shut him down in spring training. But Darvish did say it's getting better, feeling better every day, especially the last couple days. Just a bad recovery from Las Vegas, high altitude, dry, just a bad combination. Okay. Did the Padres think of that before sending him out there? Or was that just he needed to pitch that day, and so that was what was available? Interesting. So, yeah, that's really the update there. Kyle Hart in the minors, by the way, a 2.29 ERA over 4 starts, walking 15 batters, 16 strikeouts. So you'd like the walk to be a little bit less there. But we'll see when he comes back and how he is going to look at the big league level for the Padres. But yeah, that's what I've got tonight. Padres, they walk it off. Tyler Wade still having that impact, and part it's part of why he continues to be on this team.